then start recording again. Make sure that's still there. It should be like 40, 50 minutes.
52 minutes. Yeah, but he basically says, and like I said, I'm going to mess it up, but he said...
Hold on.
Yes. He said, and you...
There you go. You learn
Hey, David Mack, that faggy.
Makes life easy.
So he says in your life, you can be, you need to strive to be that person when it comes down to your father's funeral. Like, basically the worst time in your life is what he's saying. That you're that stable rock. You're the one that your family relies on. You're the one that keeps everyone together. He said, you can be one of two men. You need to work to be that man, which I thought was cool for me, because it's like, of course my parents are young, but like that's like a, that's a real thing too. Yeah. It's like everybody has to deal with that, as well as, what if something's not going right in my career or my life or something like that? I need to be like emotionally stable. Yeah, which I thought was cool.
That's what we talked about in the early podcast.
I was literally gonna say like Dave says something like very similar to where like people want success but think they're just gonna fall on them being who they are, and he said a lot of time to attain that success, you're not ready to gain that success because you're not who you need to be to receive that.
Me and him have had great conversations like that.
He said that several times, and I 100% agree. It's just like, if it were that easy, everybody would be fucking millionaires or billionaires or whatever. It takes a certain type of people and mentality to get to that point.
That killer instinct.
Yeah, but like I said, it really just boils down to, what do you want? Like, what he wants for him, I think is freaking great. Every time he tells me the shit he's doing, I'm like, dude, that's awesome. I just get a headache when he talks to me about this. Just because of I'm like, dude, that just sounds like a lot of work that honestly, good for you. That's what you want to do. I always be a cheerleader in the corner and whatnot. Yeah. But like you just got to figure out what works, what it is that you want. And, as me, and like I said, it's not necessarily a comparison, but it's just like me kind of just diving deep into who I am and what I want. Everybody's needs different. And overall, going back to what you were saying, I agree as well. You kind of just like, times will toughen you up and, make you what you need to be in order to get where you need to be. Yeah. But you also got to be receptive, because it's not just like, sometimes you get those tough times thrown at you and you got to deal with it. But the hardest part is putting yourself in those positions to learn. Because I've had that hard time to where, like, say, a job came up and I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I can do this. But then taking that leap and be like, you know what, I'll figure it out. Is by going through all those moments that you learn how to be calm during the next storm. If you think about it this way, it's like, okay, here's a storm. I'm going to throw myself in there. Now I'm going to deal with it later. And then because of all these storms that you've dealt with, another one comes through and you're like, okay, well, been through something like this before.
That's how you conquer anxiety. Yeah. When you don't deal with it, then it starts building up and you don't know how to cope with the next thing. So until you start learning to face your fucking shit,
you're not being uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I always like, I don't know, maybe that's why I like that line of Migos song. He's like, face your fears, bring my mama tears. Mama! The mama part's important.
Did he probably go, raindrop?
Raindrop, yeah. That's like tears, though. I like that line. Even like, but that's because I made it. Like, when I think about it, that's what I think about. Face my fears, bring my mama tears. Because like, once you face your fears, at the end of the day, you're going to get where you need to get. And then ultimately, the mama tears part is just a metaphor for the people that brought you into this world, that are going to be proud of you.
Bro.
Sure. So like stuff like that, so.
Eminem motivates the shit out of me, dude.
Nice.
Anytime I'm upset or feeling like a certain way, I turn on Eminem and I think, Jackson, you bitch.
Eminem won't make you feel that way.
It's like David Goggins. David Goggins, you know who that is?
No.
So, dude, you got to read about this guy. This guy's crazy.
Dill's got his book. I can show you.
But he basically said, he's like, all right, next time, you're self-doubting, pull out your little phone and voice memo that shit. He said, then play it back and realize how much of a bitch you are.
I know. Like, I swear, like, I feel you on that. Like, it hits me like that, but mostly with some ideas that I'm having. Yeah. Like, I'll be like, oh, this is a great freaking idea. Voicemail. When I listen back, like, it sounds like shit. I'm just like, it sounds like trash. I'm like, but maybe it's just me. I need to formulate it better. I was just like the first glimpse of ideas, but like, I see I definitely feel you on that.
Dude, I thought that was so funny. Though.
Yeah. It's just like, because sometimes just hearing yourself the way you sound, it's like, dude, come on, man, get over yourself. What the hell's wrong with you? So yeah, no, I definitely might try that next time. I'm just like,
So David Goggins like completed like SEAL training like 3 different times, and also he ran until his legs physically like fractured.
Yeah,
like he kept running. His ankle was fractured, and he got tape and taped it and kept running. Like this dude's this dude's the type of motherfucker. He'll be running up a hill in a marathon and calling himself a bitch the whole way up, saying, "You can't do it."
you fucking man, fuck him.
I know, dude. He's crazy. Bro.
I do it sometimes whenever I'm doing like sprints and stuff, and I'm like at the end of it, I'm like, "Come on,
like,
pussy ass bitch." It gets you jacked.
Yeah. I'm glad that you demeaning yourself gets you jacked.
I chilled out a lot.
He's into some weird stuff. I guess it takes all kinds, right?
Hey, man, whatever it takes to get you through.
I didn't say I was going to fuck a goat, though.
I don't know what to say. Never mind. All right, so we went from talking about animals to the deepest shit we can.
Hey,
I
man,
love it, dude.
that's kind of what it is on here, man. Like, we kind of just... like very much like a roller coaster of different things that we just talk about. So it's
I don't know if you've heard the other ones. Like it's just a long conversation.
That's what I love about podcasting.
Yeah.
Is it's like having a conversation that someone can sit on. Like I love Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it because he talks about everything.
And he's a good host. He just knows how to. He just talks with them, converses. Oh, that's interesting. Elaborate.
Yeah, tell me more. Yeah, exactly. It's just like. So like that's what we need to get with the MC, but he'll get there, but
eventually,
Cha, bro.
Like you just fucking hopped on and we just talked for another fucking hour.
So just
shit, dude.
Easy as that.
I love to talk. I'll talk to this wall for an hour.
I can be like that sometimes. I'm just like, wall, thank you for being there for me.
No, but honestly, man, Terrence, especially like I've always been fascinated with like culture, different cultures and whatnot, and as soon as you said you were from the Ivory Coast, I was like, man, it's like, because I feel like, you learn a lot from people from different like walks of life.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I wanted to ask you those questions. It's just because like for me, like also in wanting to be, super successful, wanting these different things, I also feel like I need to be armed with like the ammunition, like the knowledge. Like that's a big part of it too. People just not knowing enough.
Yeah.
Not even about how to get where they're going, but just knowing enough about the world.
Yeah.
And I've always considered myself above everything as like a student of the world. Like I just love learning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The main reason that, of course, I love music and want to be successful, and that's really what I want. But the higher reason for that is I want that success so I can have that financial freedom to go see these different places and, experience the different cultures.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, of course, I'd love to have Bugattis and things like that, but even on a,
that new Bugatti looks like the Batmobile, dude. It's fucking gorgeous. Holy shit!
But like
I never liked Bugattis either, man. That shit was fire. Go ahead.
But like on a real level, I find that like a lot of the fulfillment I get is when I'm like, engaging with something mentally. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like.
I think everyone enjoys that level of engagement. They may not know it yet or what it means, but I think to some degree, everyone does enjoy that sort of involvement and engagement with people. Just for me, just traveling, I mean, I've basically been around the world just with the line of work that I'm doing or that I've done. And that's going to be a hard thing. It's been a hard thing to part with, because you experience these different cultures and different things, see different stuff, and to kind of just have the, American perspective of just like, oh, it's my way or whatever. That's the part that I'm really trying to break. And like, because I feel like as Americans, we're not just like as receptive to other things to where like we're just so comfortable where we're
not receptive to ourselves.
Yeah. Like we're very like, we're America. Like, this is how we do it. Versus like, like to me, it's important to, open yourself up to different things and see, like, okay, the differences. Because to me, in difference, you get a lot of understanding. And to me, like, that's what has always been my main motivation for languages, understanding. That's why I love learning new languages. I hate and that's probably one of the top few things that I hate. Being in a situation
like incompetent,
just like being in a situation and someone speaks another language and I just don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
I know.
I fucking hate that. That's like probably one of the things that I don't like, and this honestly been the fuel for me learning languages. Like from me being young as hell, You know, so the Spanish part, that part, like I said, I'll be in the bus, whatever. People are talking. Like, every time I pull up somewhere, I've noticed that Latino people love my girlfriend. Like, I know it. You know, I see when we pull up, and I've noticed she doesn't pay attention to that shit. Like, but they're digging it, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, babe, every time we go to a Mexican joint, just, you know, start looking at people and see. I'll tell you, it's like, you get a lot of stares when we go to Mexican joints.
No.
And then she starts seeing it, she's like, oh my God, I see what you're talking about. She's like, mm-hmm. It's like, yeah. She's like, how does that make me feel? I'm just like, well, let me grab this ass cheek right here. I'm just like, you know, but like, you know, and she's like, oh, they're saying, I'm like, yeah, they're talking about it.
You're funny, dude.
You know, I'm just like, but it's just one of those things, like just being aware, like as long as it gives me one step ahead, like that's all I need, you know, just being able to know enough.
Oh, you can hear what they're saying.
Oh yeah, I was
they
able
don't know that you can hear.
Exactly.
Really?
But then like, I'm over here, the guy that didn't have like they didn't have chorizo. The burrito that I was ordering, I wanted a chorizo burrito. They didn't have it on the menu.
I love that stuff.
And I was just like, it's like, hola señor, ¿tienes un burrito de chorizo o no? And so the guys next to me is like, holy shit.
He knows what
you know, and it's like, and then when I conversate, you know, but like, I to me, it's always been an arsenal that I have. And even when we were in France, you know, the stagehands were talking shit. Oh my God, they were talking so much.
And they
shit.
didn't know you're from Africa and speak that language.
They didn't know. They just, because like I said, I'm hanging out because it was on tour, all the Americans hanging out, and I'm speaking English. You know, they can't tell a difference. And so they're talking about, yeah, but this guy over there, yada, 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 yada. And then at one point, I just yelled an instruction in French. I'm just like, hey, toi là-bas, prends le camion là et on bouge ça ici. I was just talking to them. And then the guy just like, oh, you gotta be fucking shit. He's like, dude, this guy speaks French. You heard everything. I'm just like, yep. I'm just like, and ever since that day, that crew, the whole time I was there, anything that I said, listen to it to a T. Or like, just like, because I never came at them for like being like a douchebag or something. But like, it's always important to let people know that.
Dangerous, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's always important.
That's like some James Bond shit, dude.
It's always important to let people know that, you know, like.
It's just being informed.
Yeah. It's just like, I'm never ever trying to use it in a way that's, you know, demeaning to other people and embarrass people in a malicious way. Exactly. But like, it's important to let people know that, hey, just because you assume that none of us speak English doesn't mean that someone doesn't understand what you're saying. And to me, there's a lesson to be learned there. And that's just with me as well. You know, going somewhere, if I'm talking about someone or whatever, I always say, even if I say something, I'm just like, okay, let's assume this person heard me talk like this. You know, okay, is that a good thing? You know, like, what would be the repercussion of that? You know, they're probably not going to react the way I would react. Maybe they want to fight. And at that point, just like, well, I'm in the wrong because I'm the one talking shit. And then at that point, I got to, you know, fist up and then deal with the shit. And
knowledge is power, bro.
It is. And then it goes back to what you were saying. Knowledge is power. And like I said, my language used to be, obviously, English was the first. French was the second. Spanish. It used to be Italian, and then I gave up in Italian.
English was first.
Well, yeah, I spoke English first. And then French came second, and then Spanish. And then I'm just like, well, Italian. And then after a while, I'm just like, no, Italian's the same as Spanish.
It's the same thing.
To some degree. I mean, they say the same thing about Portuguese, but it's not.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I've heard, they've got the all that stuff.
Not even that, just words in general, descriptive. Like when we were in you know, Brazil, I tried that. I tried using Spanish. If the person never learned the fucking language, it doesn't help. As much as they're similar, if someone never learned the language, they're not going to know what you're saying. And I learned that shit the hard way. You know, so I'm over here on Google, and I was in my room in my office. Okay, how do I communicate? These are the words that I use: up, down, there, here, and you just basic stuff. And like that's the whole part of, you know, when you go to different places and you want to be understood. If you're in a tough spot, people know Americans when they see them. Period. So like, they know you're American. And they know the nature of Americans in general.
Why do you think that is?
Well, probably Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean,
do I look like just like a white kid from America?
No, it's not. It's not like it's not even that.
Like a white kid.
It's just like going to different countries. Americans have we have a carefree nature.
Like we carry
ourselves a lot differently, and people know, oh, he's American. You know, just from the way the stuff that we say,
like a confidence, maybe.
Yeah,
or?
you know, like because like you said, we're one of the top nations in the world. So with that comes that confidence. You know, we come from America. We're the top dogs. You know, so we go there, and they just said we go there with that confidence. But the thing is, not a lot of people take a liking to that.
The French don't love it.
Well, the French definitely don't like it. You know, we were over there. You say, you
French
know,
don't like anybody.
The French, you say croissant wrong, and you got some issues.
How you say it?
Croissant.
Croissant.
You gotta say croissant, not croissant.
It sounds like a lot of effort.
It is a lot of effort.
Hey,
even for me.
Croissant.
Croissant.
S'il vous plaît.
Yeah, exactly.
Sous ma bite.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly. But yeah, no, just overall, it used to be French. English, French, Spanish, and then I went to Japanese, which Japanese was like I'm still on the Japanese train.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Dill's all over that.
Yeah, and then the last one was Arabic, because I feel like they've very misunderstood.
Absolutely.
And I was really like wanting to know how to speak that language overall, because there is some bit of information you can get from speaking the language.
It's a huge culture.
It is hard.
I've heard.
But it is so beautiful when they sing in like Arabic. Oh my God. Like,
Dude, like that whole alphabet.
Their
is sick.
falsetto, like whatever they do, it's
mountain
like,
voices.
Yeah, it is so cool. Like, and even like because I think I may have told you, like, the mosque was like my school growing up in Ivory Coast. We had literally a mosque that was next door, and the call to prayer, I think, was always around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock ish, or whatever. And so every time you will hear the guy that's singing, Ishikala, like whatever going off, and it was the most, like, thinking about it now, I miss it.
Like shake you, right?
Yeah, I miss it. You know, just like hearing that. It's just like, but then one time, the guy, I don't think it was the same guy singing, and then he was doing one of the notes. He was like, Ishika, and like,
like his voice cracked. Or
and
something.
we were doing an exam. Everybody started cracking the hell up. It was so funny. But that's the type of stuff I grew up with.
I absolutely love. I don't know what you would call this type of music, but you know, like when it's like Arabian scenes in movies, and you're that.
Yeah. Yeah. I know exactly.
Dude, that's like my favorite type
cinematic
of shit.
feeling.
It's just,
you know?
it's beautiful.
It makes me feel like I'm about to like meet God.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
it's beautiful. It's just like that and that indie
they're
movie.
hymns, aren't they? Basically, yeah.
It's like and even the way that they sing is just it sounds flawless.
Dude, yeah. Me and Shane and Celica were sitting. Dude,
just from the way you're talking, like I could tell. Like, I don't know, he makes me think of Shane a lot. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You made me think of Shane a lot.
Oh, die. Dude, me, Shane, and Celica were sitting. That's weird you say that, because we connected when I went out there. But me, Shane, and Celica were sitting at this Indian restaurant, right? And dude, the shit you see in LA, this was actually pretty tame. It was sick though. We were like right off of Rodeo, like not too far from there. And it's like 9 o'clock at night, and this dude is walking down the street singing like it was like the best I've ever heard of that type of shit, dude. I was like, me and Shane was like, dude,
he's gonna track him.
it's fucking crazy. He's like, let's sample that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, he probably said, let's sample that.
I'm surprised he didn't get out his fucking.
I'm just like, hey man, you want to go in the stew real quick? I'll get you a meal or something.
Yeah, I'll chuck you $50 and I'm gonna make a meal.
But he was like nuts.
Yeah, dude.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's beautiful, man. Like I said, singing at the end of the day is the language of the world. I don't care what you do, what language you're singing. If there's the emotion, people feel the emotions. They feel what you're saying, and they may not understand it, but at the end of the day, you know, like that's what music is there for. To bridge that gap.
It's universal, man.
It brings
so I
people
get jacked
together.
on anime fucking songs.
Exactly.
Dude. I don't fight things after I hear that shit.
I don't understand half the shit. Like there's one of the I know. The theme song to one of the Naruto's episode, which is like where Shikamaru's sensei died. That's that host.
Nothing about Naruto, bro.
Okay,
sorry.
whatever.
I'm gonna start watching it.
Okay. Well, one of the main senseis, like Azuma, he gets killed, whatever, and it's like the theme song to that like particular episode. I wrote that. Because they write it down how you're supposed to, if you wanted to read it along, almost like karaoke. Well, I wrote all that shit down and I memorized that shit, and I was just singing, and I still know it to this day.
Dude, I did that with a Spanish song.
Oh, dude, nice.
Tu me partiste el corazón. Pero mi amor no hay problema. No.
There's no problem there.
I love reggaeton, dude.
Yeah, reggaeton. Like I've been listening.
Sounds much better when you say it.
I've been listening to reggaeton for a minute. Before, like back home, like I said, our TV station that they played, like they played all that shit before.
Who do you like?
Who do I like now?
Don't even matter now. Just who do you like in reggaeton?
I mean, what's the guy that did Tempted to Touch? Rupi. Tempted to touch. I love Maluma so much. Who that?
Maluma. He sings that Feliz y los Cuatros.
He's pretty big, isn't he?
Dude,
like, really big.
Shane is working with his ex-girlfriend.
Word.
Fine as hell, dog. I tell Shane all the time, I'm like, yo.
Hey, man, let me get it.
Let me know. Like,
let me clap,
I can't
bro.
even say, I can't even say what I tell him on this podcast, bro.
I
can't even say it.
I'm like, let me get in there, bro. No, the stuff that like, obviously, you got your, Bad Bunny and all that stuff that are now like the, Farruko, like it's just now pretty big now. But no, I was listening to reggaeton, like, obviously the Daddy Yankees in the world, the Rupees and all that stuff.
Dude, Danny Ocean is great. He's from Venezuela. You should check him out.
Danny Ocean.
I feel like I've heard that name before.
Me too.
He did a song with Skrillex. Epa way.
I probably remember it from that then.
Honestly, my favorite thing is just like the one thing that I'm pissed about now, but like slick happy about, is that Afrobeat is everywhere, and I can't claim it for myself anymore. Because you remember when Afrobeat wasn't really a thing, but I was listening to it nonstop over here.
I was learning it from you.
Yeah, exactly. And
be like, turn it up, man.
Yeah, Afrobeat, like you got what's the name? Malik Berry, which is one of the big guys that I listen to. What's the name of that guy that was that you like a lot? They came out with a new album.
Jadena?
Not Jadena. Jadena, he's more for me. I don't consider him like Afrobeat. He's
pretty pop.
He's pretty pop.
Long live the Chief.
Long live the Chief.
Yeah.
He did that song. He was on the Beyonce album. He does a Gonna Bounce. Who you gonna bounce? You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know.
He did a song with Stormzy and
I love Stormzy, dude.
I fucking love
so
this
hard.
Song. He did a song with Stormzy and Ed Sheeran. London
Town. Take me back to London Town.
Not that song. I'll find it now. When I say his name, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, you even told me his album came out. I'm just like, motherfucker, don't tell me his album came out. I already knew his album came out.
You know that song, Don't Rush.
Yeah.
Ground on white.
Everybody loves that song.
No, let me tell you something right now. Listen, I was on that shit before TikTok ever found it, and then I felt like one of them little girls on TikTok, because I used to bump that shit in my car in town.
No rush, yeah.
And I felt like, hell yeah, y'all don't know this shit.
Yeah, exactly. Now everybody's doing those videos. And then it blew
up, and like I don't play that song now.
Yeah, see, that's what TikTok's doing to songs now. It's kind of just like songs that were cool, and now everybody's listening, and I guess you don't stand out anymore because it's whatever. But Burna Boy.
Burna Boy, fuck yeah, dude. I forgot.
Burna Boy, he's been there for a minute. Like I said, I've been
had something that was fucking fire. I was like, holy shit, Mr. Burna Boy.
Burna Boy, I've been listening to Afrobeat for a hot minute. So the fact that everybody's now like Afrobeat, listen to this song, it's like, man, get out my face. I already been rapping this shit a long time ago. But it's cool that that Beyonce album that she put out for The Lion King, it really showcased a lot of talent from Africa in general.
I haven't seen that movie or heard the album yet. Yeah, I gotta get
dude, I played that.
I forgot about it.
I played that album on repeat.
I know.
It's everything I like.
Being from Africa, is it like when you hear them, is that cool?
I think more so it is.
Would have been cooler if Beyonce wasn't in it.
Exactly. I'm just like, I hate that.
She's from fucking Texas.
It took someone from America to like.
That's the part to me. Like
it
always feels like Africa always needs the approval of some, but it makes sense because that's what all the music industry. If you want to make it big, you need that.
Bollywood.
You need that channel.
We talked about that. Like Beyonce's so big. Like I I can't get into her character or whatever she's playing because she's just Beyonce.
Yeah, like I was telling Courtney yesterday, I'm like, I miss the old Beyonce. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I miss how accessible she was. She's like, really? I'm just like, I don't mean like I could ever reach her, but I'm like, I feel like Beyonce from Destiny's Child was way more attainable than Beyonce now.
She was just that girl from wherever.
Yeah, but I'm not saying anything. It's cool that she's reached the level that she has now, but it's just like in order to see anything from Beyonce, you got to jump through so many fucking hoops. Like she's
like tickets and shit. Like her tickets are
not even the tickets, just like being able to keep up with her. She just doesn't like. Maybe that she never did, but I feel like she's also
married to Jay-Z, which they're like a power couple.
Yeah, it's just like now it's just like it's all about like what they mean now is completely different. Like they can. I don't want to say they can start a war and like tomorrow or some shit, but just the amount of
influence.
Yeah, the cultural influence that they have in general. I don't want to say it scares me. I love the fact that they can be that representation, but at the same time, I just miss the regular Beyonce that was just singing. Oh my ladies, if you're feeling it,
man, I
miss that.
I definitely respect Beyonce.
Oh, 100%. No one disrespects the queen.
I think like I don't think she's the queen though, bro.
I think she's the queen.
Well, queen of what?
R&B. Period.
Bro, Aretha Franklin is the queen, dog. Aretha Franklin is the queen.
Of that era. I mean, of this era. Like,
I'm a Rihanna person, though. Like, I love Rihanna.
I like Rihanna's music more.
I like Rihanna's music more.
But in terms of an impact,
Beyonce, 100%.
I wonder why that is.
It's just because her
image
right now.
It's basically like
brand.
LeBron. Like LeBron is like killing it.
It's just their brand.
The way she
she started going a little more thug, like that whole persona just changed. Mm-hmm. She's like the Jay-Z of the female.
She's also married to Jay-Z, which is
I know.
Like Jay-Z's
even Jay-Z in terms of like he's more of like an idol now to aspire to.
Yeah,
he's not like culturally relevant, I would say, anymore.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's in a way sometimes.
Like he's a dope rapper, but the reason he's on the list of the greatest of all time is not because of his rhymes.
Well, I think it is.
I think it is.
I think it is.
If anything, it's not the wordplay; it's the delivery.
It's his hooks, it's his choruses. He has great songs and shit, dude. But honestly, like I would agree in a sense that like he's actually not like one of my favorite rappers. No. He's got songs. He's got some banging ass songs, but
it's delivery though. Like it's just like
his voice also commands like
it's like Biggie. It's like you hear Biggie and it's like or Tupac and it's just like that thunder,
See, that's the part where I disagree. His voice never really meant anything to me. I don't like his voice. Like when he hops on the track, I don't feel like I don't feel like, It's just like he spit some knowledge, like that. I think there was like what 1212 or that
the 440.
Yeah, I still got to listen because there's a lot of people were hopping on that album. Like, yo, there's a lot of knowledge on this. And all
that was his version of Lemonade because he cheated on Beyonce or something.
Yeah, so like I respect that, but like if I were to like in terms of like lyrically, I've always told you I'm Nas. Like
I would take Nas.
I would take Nas over Jay-Z any fucking
Jay-Z just has the hooks.
What kind of heat?
I'm also not even really a fan of his flow either,
bro.
Like I'm big on flow. Like to me, like that's the thing. Like
he chucks boulders
like cadence,
to me.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's the big thing. And like sometimes whatever you're saying don't even matters. Like how can I move?
How do you say it?
Like to me, like and that's why I think it was Ninth Wonder. We was talking about that. He's like, yo, a lot of people when they're making, a production or like sampling, they don't think about how people move to it. He's like, when I was thinking about the song for Kendrick, I was thinking like, okay, what are the gang signs, how people moving, like shit like that. And when you hear the track, it just represents. So it kind of just like bleeds through it. I can feel that, So like he's like, I wanted something that people can just bop to. And like as soon as you hear the track, and just like, yep, I can bop to it.
So do you like Rakim?
Rakim?
I gotta get more into Rakim, but I've heard some of his stuff.
I've heard that he's from how you call it Wu-Tang. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
I don't know much about him.
I started getting into Wu-Tang.
He's like one of the fathers of hip hop.
I started getting into that's RZA. Sorry, not Rakim. RZA is one of the founders of Wu-Tang.
He is the founder.
Yeah, he is Yeah, I started. I don't know. I haven't really listened to Rakim that much. Maybe here and there.
Rakim and Raekwon. And
Listen, man, I'm
know
a little
much about
spoiled. I'm not gonna lie, because the reason I say that is like kind of what I was getting at with Jay-Z is like, you know how people like watch like sex shit online. It's like they start out watching vanilla shit, and you know, I've heard people like end up looking at crazy shit, you know, to like do something for them. It's like for me in like hip hop rap music now, it's like since I've been such an Eminem fan for so long, it's like I have to listen to just like crazy ass wordplay.
Yeah,
like commercial rap does not like
do it for you. You know,
yeah,
I feel you on that.
That's what I was telling you about 21 Savage with that feature on Post Malone's thing. Weak as fuck, bro. I think 21's overrated personally.
Hobson.
Now
Hobson is sick.
Dude, that guy, I haven't listened to him in a minute, but shit.
I'll have to check him out.
He's Black Eminem, dude.
Yeah, he's got some bars. Like,
he's crazy.
I don't listen to him like religiously. It's like a Tech Nine. I don't listen to Tech Nine a lot, but like the little bit that I've listened to.
Tech Nine's like, I guess, the most successful independent artist.
Underrated motherfucker.
Yeah.
I remember we were doing a festival.
Dude,
it was
Eveready was the shit.
It was in a festival. It was in Ohio. It was the what's the name of that festival? It's Rock and Roll Festival. I can't remember. But I was on the B stage, and Tech Nine was the main guy on it. And then I will never forget that song.
Tours with rock people too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was literally like on the other stage. You got Linkin Park was closing that night,
crazy.
but like he was on the B stage. You know what I mean? So it's like just doing his thing. And then one of the songs that he was doing was called Areola. Bro, when I tell you it's just shirts off, titties, and then
no.
Like, oh hell yeah,
dude, that's all I want to be a rock star, Terrence. I'm telling you.
Oh hell yeah, that's what it was. Like girls taking their shirt off, and then the camera guys just do this, pan over, and then just get it on the screen. And guess what? The A stage was getting feeds from the B stage, yeah?
Oh, no.
So the A stage is going nuts because that's where everybody is because they want to see who's closing and all, Slipknot's over there, like Slash or like whatever. All of them over there. Well, the A stage gets the feed from the B stage. Like, yeah, I'm going nuts. And then they cut the feed and then they turn back to my buddy that's on camera and they start booing him. He's like, I've got nothing to do with this. Do you see titties here? It's over there. Like, dude, like, boo, put the titties back on the screen. It was so crazy, but yeah, that was like my experience with Tech Nine. I like Tech Nine in general.
He's dope.
But I didn't know he had a song called Areola. And then it was just like seeing the girls just like kind of go from it like, yeah, Areola. I'm just like, okay.
Bro, at this point, man, I feel like it's almost comical to say that your favorite rapper is Eminem. But dude, like,
it's not.
I just can't help it. Like,
it's not comical.
He covers every base.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, I mean, of course he's a white dude. So like with gangbangers, I don't really know if they can relate with him.
I want to say like I don't know when I listen to Eminem. I don't necessarily know if someone necessarily relates to the stuff he's rapping about right now.
Yeah, he raps
it's just his storytelling, dude.
Yeah.
I have to imagine he's almost in everyone's top 5.
He's like a Shakespearean rapper.
Yeah,
he's just got his own way of doing it.
Exactly. Like to me, like yes, it's not necessarily gonna vibe well with gangbangers because what they're trying to listen to is just like made this, cooking something up in the kitchen, whatever the shit that they already doing. I don't necessarily think they're listening to it when they're just like moving around or bopping, but I know for a fact that they appreciate Eminem, or if they're not giving him the credit that he deserves, and that's on them. But to me,
the intellectual.
Yeah, but to me, and that's if you're not able to just understand that, then it's going over your head. The same way that like maybe the reason I don't like Jay-Z is because I don't get what he's talking about.
Maybe that's why.
You know what I mean? It's just like there's that as well. Because I never really given it a time of day. Like because Nas did a song with DJ Khaled, and I freaking love that song. Like just because like the Bevel Blade and all that. Like I can't remember the freaking name of the song, but like when he's talking about it, he's talking about how black people get your bread up, do your thing, but he's not saying those words. He's just using like metaphors and analogies, and like I said, I like Nas's flow. I like the way he delivers, and I think like overall, like when he delivers, it hits. And so like I'm not very familiar with his discography, but I know that as a rapper, he's someone that I'm way more in tune with already than Jay-Z.
I want to get into it, dude. After the Evolution Hip Hop show, I want to go through like the history and stuff, like listening to all of Nas's.
Well, because you were listening to it one of
these days. Illmatic.
And I'm just like, oh, okay. I probably need to do that because I was listening to Outcast, the say Gemini or
Aquarius.
Aquemini.
Aquemini.
I'm listening to Aquemini. I've never listened to that album.
Yeah.
You know, I've known like one song off of it, but I never listened to the whole thing.
Me neither, dude. I always only was into the speaker box one.
And that's the thing, like, you know, I've always consumed
Roses really smell like poo. Ooh,
yeah,
ooh.
but I don't even think that's not on Aquemini.
Not on Quemini.
Yeah,
Speaker box. Like I said.
But like I can't remember what that song that's on there. But the way that I've mostly consumed song, and which is like everybody else, really is just like the song, not really the project.
I don't listen to albums.
The only artist I will listen to his album from beginning
Eminem.
to end, and you can say it with me, is fucking Neo. That's it.
I'm Eminem, baby.
Neo is the only person that, like, when he puts out an album, I will go buy it. I will listen to it.
He's dope.
I will give it a time of day, and then I would either be like, I hate it or I don't like it.
Like his last one, I didn't like it.
I didn't like it all. Like
Nonfiction was interesting.
No, that was his last. No, Red was his last one.
It was like Good Something was his last
Red.
one.
Red was his last one.
Red was before Nonfiction.
I want to say one thing.
It goes. Sorry.
You're a gentleman.
It goes. It goes. What's the first one with? I'm so sick of love songs.
You're the Gentleman.
No, You're the Gentleman was Closer and Independent.
Okay, let's
And
go.
then there's Because of You, and then there's You're the Gentleman, and then there's Libra Scales, and then there's Red, and then there's Nonfiction, and then there's this good one.
Shut up.
He got it now.
I got it right here.
I'm telling you, that one right there is his first one.
In my own words.
In our own words, and then Because of You,
Yeah,
because
and
there was
then-
only one hit on it.
Mm-hmm. And then
You're the Gentleman, and then Libra Scales, which is garbage.
Okay,
and
Red.
then Red.
Red was. Wait a minute. Red came out in 2012.
Yes.
Which one is the one? So
Red has Jealous on it, which is like one of my favorite Neo songs.
isn't that when we were both in college when the Red
no,
came out?
Nonfiction came out.
Y'all went to school together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
We went to Belmont.
We went to Belmont together.
You went to Belmont.
He was my
Was it?
roommate, too.
Was his
for,
roommate
like,
too?
Hell
I
yeah.
live with this fucker.
Yeah, like a couple years, few years.
You and his mama. I love David.
Yeah. Yeah, I met G-Ma, I met the dad, and probably met most of the family.
Yeah, G-Ma came down for the eclipse.
Yeah, the only person I didn't see yet is Donovan.
True Tang.
spoke
You
with
met my
him.
sister?
And Daly.
Oh, yeah, because of, damn, you lived with me over there, too. I
Yeah.
forgot.
I was...
This is going to be going back like several minutes in the conversation, but I got to say it because you gave me an epiphany. You gave me an epiphany, bro. It's going back a few minutes in the convo.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never thought about it this way. That's why I'm bringing this up. You
Is it
said...
about the goat?
Because I was arguing. What's up? What did you say? What did he say?
No, go ahead with the epiphany.
Go with your epiphany.
No, but
No, go ahead.
We'll
Don't-
get back to
Don't
this.
lose the thought.
No,
Go
but,
ahead.
but you said, I was arguing my case of why I'm not a Jay-Z fan, and I said he doesn't really, like, his rhymes aren't that crazy to me. But you also said, whenever you were talking about the gangbangers and whatnot, the hood people maybe not being able to relate to Eminem but respecting it. Maybe I'm just used to, like, a certain level of wordplay, and I simply, the way I've grown up and the life I've experienced, I can't relate to the things Jay-Z talks about.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why when I hear it, I'm just like, this doesn't really do much
Yeah,
for me.
But I mean, it just really depends on what you're listening to an artist for. Like if you're listening to Eminem, you're listening to Eminem to get fucked in the ears, literally with like wordplay and consistently
love.
just like, just jab, 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 jab. Versus if you, a guy like Jay-Z, you're listening to him and it's just like, okay, there's ever going to be some wordplay, but he's always trying to, spit some knowledge but in a clever way.
He is a storyteller. I'll
He
give
is.
him that.
Yeah, he
it's
is.
just how he tells a story is his own way, which is
Renegade
actually
is-
kind of
is
different than how most rappers
Exactly.
do things, which puts him in a class of his own.
Exactly.
To me, anyways. But yes, Renegade, I would say Eminem won that for
Eminem
sure.
cleaned house.
Yeah.
No, but Jay-Z's got some hard bars in that, though.
Oh, I remember reading something back in the day where
Vado
it came
Bodega.
down to it. It was
Oh, yeah,
the
my
technical
girlfriend.
lyricist was Eminem, but the storyteller was Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Those two were like the best.
Yeah.
Because it's like comparing Jimi Hendrix and like Jimmy
He
Page,
says
dude.
something
They're just
like-
different styles.
Exactly.
You can't really compare them.
By the bodega, iron under my coat, feeling braver. Pockets full of lot of lead. Not as no. I don't remember
Who's
what
that?
he said, but
Eminem.
but it's in Renegade. He says some super cool stuff. He's talking about like being by the bodega, like
Yeah.
having like like I guess he's talking about bullets in his pocket. I don't know. But he's
I think
got,
even
like,
Jay-Z admits that like fucking M killed the shit out of it.
dude. But Eminem is like Like, I'm the type of dude, like, whenever I listen to... I mean, of course, I listen to ignorant stuff. Like, I love crazy stuff, too. Just stupid stuff.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like that's
and
coming
I'm not
back
at all,
a little bit.
hey,
There's
and to
a lot of
clarify,
ignorant lyrics now.
To clarify, I'm not putting Jay-Z in that category at all.
No.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not always listening for that insane wordplay that I have to listen to. But what I love, like, my favorite people, like Eminem, like, what I do is, like, I'm one of those dudes that, like, looks up bar breakdown on YouTube, and I listen to like a 35-minute video breaking down every bar that he says.
Nice.
You know, and it's that's why it's like a lot of people love Eminem, but to really appreciate him, there's no way, it doesn't matter how good at listening you are, at active listening, you can catch what he says in every song.
Yes, he enunciates pretty well.
And that's why it's like, you know, well, not even the enunciation, like not even the clarity of which he says something, but he says things that he can say one phrase that means 3 different things. It can be a triple entendre.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes a lot of it has to do with the certain beefs and things he's going through. So you might not even know because you just don't know what he's talking about.
He's just obsessive with it. And
It's
I also find that
crazy.
I listen to both of them differently. You know, for Jay-Z, I look for choruses. Like, I don't really pay attention too much on his verse. Yeah, shit like that. Like, Lucifer, time in the morning, I'm gonna chase you out of here. You know, Kanye wrote that, you know?
Kanye's.
Yeah, he's a genius.
I'm a Kanye fan.
Yeah,
This is
bro.
a Kanye house, and
Yeah,
I don't
this is a
belong.
Kanye house, bro. I love Kanye. He's my favorite artist. But, like, yeah, for
that's the first
Eminem, I listen to every word because you
back
don't
up.
know. What?
You can just say that and just keep moving.
Kanye's my favorite artist.
Since when?
Since always.
I respect the hell out of you for saying
bro.
that.
Interesting.
Dude, Kanye's a visionary.
Overall, I've thought about it. I have like very
Yeah,
if I
kinda.
had to choose, it would be Kanye.
Okay,
because I
so-
can listen to every one of his projects front to back.
Okay, so like that's the part. I know you were. What's the album? He Lost Me. That album that didn't have
Pablo.
that clear color, and it was just like
The Jesus is King one.
No, it was just a CD.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I was going after.
So
that.
like, listen, dude, that was ahead of its time, bro. I didn't like
It
it when
was.
it came out.
No, it
I didn't
was.
like, dude. It was on every trailer 4 years later.
Well, that's the thing. Like what I noticed, and that's when I started realizing.
I love Kanye.
That's
dude.
why I started
Thank you.
realizing what Kanye was about. Is just like when that album came out, I just wasn't with it. But 4 years later, all the movies that I was watching had a track from Yeezus.
Yeah.
Had a track from Yeezus. Had a track from Yeezus. I'm just like, okay, I'm seeing what they're talking about with this cat now. It's either he has some really great PR people that just know where to place it, or just people just now came to understand that, oh, we can use this song in this way.
He's a
so
Renaissance
it's just
man,
like-
bro.
Dude, he was ahead.
He's a
of
modern day Renaissance
Yeah,
man.
man.
He's not an
a fucking-
artist.
He is a genius.
Yeah, he's
bro.
not an artist. He's a Renaissance
And I don't
man.
think he's crazy. I just think because of, like he didn't. Nobody started
he's not
calling him
crazy.
crazy until like the whole Trump thing started happening.
He's
like,
not
and
crazy.
I don't think he's
Feel
crazy
like-
at all.
I feel like no,
if
they were
you
calling him
listen
crazy
to
before that.
He's
They're going
like
crazy
he's
with
got
it.
an
I go
ego
to
and
war
he
for
can be
Kanye,
an
bro.
ass sometimes, but I don't give a fuck. I care about results.
It's
You know,
good
his
to do-
projects speak.
Yeah.
And everything he touches ends up being
Gold,
dope.
dude.
And it's not because he's Kanye either. Like, I love the themes behind the albums. There's a world. And that's why I can
What's
listen
the
to
theme behind
every
Yeezus?
single song.
What was that song?
What's the theme behind Yeezus?
It's just minimalism and brutalism and just destruction.
Dude.
And Jesus is, after Tom explained to me the Jesus is King thing, because I didn't like it. It's my least favorite project of his. It is literally, so say Jesus is the devil on your shoulder, Jesus is King is the angel on the shoulder. So it's Jesus is King is very minimal. It's like it's like the opposite of
contrast.
Jesus. And as soon as Tom explained that and I listened to it again, it fucking blew my mind. I was like, holy fucking shit, I get it.
Holy fucking
Well, what is that song on?
He even has some lyrics in Jesus is King that
Menacing.
makes references to Jesus specifically.
What is that song? She could get menacing, violent, find out sometimes.
That's on Ye. That's
I
on
scared
Ye.
myself.
And Ye is very good too, and he busted that out in 2 weeks. And the reason he did that too, I think, was because of that TMZ interview where he was saying slavery's a choice or whatever the fuck it was. Like he had a whole album called like Turbo something.
Oh, he said.
And then he trashed it because he was mentioning some stuff, and then he just did Ye, and it was fucking
Kim
amazing.
said we about to lose it all.
Yeah,
I
and
think
like what
that-
he said, what
yeah,
Tom
it's sick.
explained was that was that 7-song EP album thing was really a journal entry. It's just him kind of venting about himself. It's like the bipolar stuff because that's when we learned he was bipolar and shit. Which I still don't think he's bipolar.
that
I
might
just
be my
think he's all. I
favorite.
just think he's
Project.
nonstop.
Switch.
thinking. Yay?
Yes.
Interesting.
The reason I say that is because he's like, it doesn't sound like he went into the studio to create the best album. It sounds like he went in the studio and just fucking said what he was feeling.
Dude, I heard he did all the vocals on his phone.
No.
I swear to
They
God,
sound
Google
clear
it.
as shit.
The microphone on these things are like so good.
I also love Life of Pablo.
Life of Pablo. So when Life of Pablo
Making
came
number
out,
25.
it made me like Yeezus because it wasn't done yet. Life of Pablo, and the fact that it wasn't done was even more interesting because it was all modeled after Pablo Picasso and all these different things. And like Pablo Picasso says, like I think he says this: you never finish a work of art; you just run out of time. So the fact that Kanye released it and still worked on it after, and it's literally the only album he's ever done that for, is so cool to me.
Well, like you said, the world behind the album.
Yes, the theme behind
Life
it.
of Pablo?
Life of Pablo.
It's got an orange
Yeah,
cover.
that's the one that he put out, and
I
just
really
like,
liked it after it was complete and
I was
finished.
just like, I think when he put out, I'm just like, this sounds like this shit ain't finished. Like when I heard it.
It wasn't. There were there were raw mixes. There was
Yeah.
some like there's 20 songs on it now or some shit. It was only like it was 16 before he added more shit. To
Kanye is
Beautiful morning.
Bro, he went to school for graphic design, dude. Like he's a
I
graphic
thought it was
designer.
Kid Cudi that was singing it.
I know, but it was on
This is
Life
the
of
thing
Pablo.
about Kanye.
See, I know Kitty.
Kanye is not just great at rapping. He's just like
Sucks.
Like, well, listen, I've heard, like, listen, he says some crazy things on the JRE podcast, but some of the stuff, like, the way he's talking about his delivery, like, honestly, if you want me to be honest, I think that, he could sit there and tell you that he was running for president, like,
I don't think he could be president.
listen,
Nope.
he could tell you he was sitting there running for president because, a leader's position. But I guarantee you that dude, when he makes a decision like that, he's probably not. He's like, first of all, one of the best. What is it called? He's not his own publicist, but he's one of the best people when it comes to
Like marketing?
publicity, like marketer,
Like
marketeer.
analyst.
He's a great marketeer.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the Taylor Swift incident. Like that was shitty because it was like stepping on.
Yeah, I like that moment too.
But listen, like-
you don't deserve this shit. We got all these artists. Why the fuck you getting this? I'm just like, all right, Kanye, like, go ahead and say it after this. I'm just
But
like,
dude, Kanye is. He's Kanye.
That
bro.
dude, that Joe Rogan podcast was interesting because it's interesting to me how he does kind of go off, but
He's
he
smart,
always
though.
is able to bring it back.
It's
to where
weird. He'll go off for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but he just goes from idea to idea, and then he can come back with it. So that's why I don't think he's crazy. I don't think he's bipolar. I just
Probably
think his
killing
mind races because he has the means to do these things. So he's always thinking of
He
ideas.
has an
and
expansive
shit.
mind.
But yeah, I don't think he'd ever. I don't think he could ever be president. He could probably be a governor maybe someday, but I don't think he has.
Shit, if Arnold could be
He
a
can't.
governor, he could.
He needs to understand that if you're president, you're going to make decisions and people are going to die.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to happen, and I don't think he can do that.
interesting.
No.
You just like mentally think it'd be too much for him to cope with.
He's a whole hardcore Christian now, dude. He's gonna and like he just. I don't think he can make those decisions.
I
knowing
respect
that.
him for like. I respect him, number one, not to get into the Trump thing. So, as far as the Christian thing, like him, like having hit records, like a nice discography of hit records, like in the rap industry, for him to basically like, I mean, when you're worth like $400 million, you're not really sacrificing that much quitting, but it's like when you can just not throw it away, but put that to bed and be like, look, this is me. I'm, like in his Joe Rogan interview, like he apologized for saying a swear word, like because he's like, pardon my language, I apologize. He's like trying
He
not
gets
to
into
cuss.
whatever he's in. He goes hard.
Like he
into it.
used to, be like F this, whatever, and to see him going full fledged in a direction and people giving him flack for it, like because I know him and Jay-Z were really close on the come up and whatever and whatnot, and even at one point during the political shit, like Jay-Z and all of them were like not chilling with Kanye, but Kanye still, it's like Kanye knows what he wants and he does what he
I think
wants to
Kanye's
do.
more important and influential than Jay-Z.
Oh, absolutely.
I think he's way bigger than Jay-Z.
Dude, the guy designed a shoe company that every pop star, every kid. Listen, it's not this much, but like, okay, like, so if Jordans were like, so if in the hood and whatnot, it's like Jordans, right? Well, in Brentwood, it's Yeezys. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's the next Jordan, dude.
Yeah.
They're already like $1 billion company.
Yeah, if there was a comparative or something you could compare it to, it's like, well, people that might have money or whatever, it's like they want Yeezys. You know, that's what all the kids in LA have. You know, like.
And ironically, Kanye was always the suburb kid. You know, he always had the pink polos in the backpack. He took that bling era 50 Cent gangster rap and shit and made it suburban. Flipped it.
He did say though that he wanted Yeezys to be less expensive.
Amen.
He's definitely making
it
more
agree.
accessible. They're still expensive as fuck. But I know those foam runners that are coming out that I think Tom wants to pick up. He's trying to get them down to like $25.
That's what he was saying, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
and they're made of like algae, made here in the States.
Savage.
Yeah, dude, they're weird looking. I'd never wear them.
I got the
Put it on the
Sesames
phone.
for
What it
like.
look like?
I'll look it
They're
up.
like $250, but the crazy thing is so they all retail for $250. But dude, some of those shoes sell for like $1,200.
Of course.
See, I
They're
would just
only that much now because
How much you sold that fucking shoe?
Which shoe?
The Yeezus?
Yeah, which Yeezy?
I don't know.
Depends.
The only one that I remember you
700s.
selling.
You're probably thinking about the 700s. They were the.
I think it was a 300 one. I can't remember.
The 350.
Yeah, those were the one.
That's what I've got.
Honestly, it depends on which one. The zebras. They've restocked the zebras like 4 times now, so they're starting to go down. Like I tried going for the breads that came out the other day. Like those fucking sold out in 2 seconds. That's the foam runner.
Let me see.
Ugly.
Yeah, they ugly as sin, bro.
Ugly
They're like
as fucking
Yeezy Crocs.
They're Crocs.
Shoot. Dude,
Yeah.
what's the thing with Post Malone now and Crocs, bro?
They're comfy, bro.
Crocs are
I'd
comfy.
never wear them.
Dude,
Even
I'd wear.
Beeves is wearing
I
them.
would wear those just to. That's like a flex, bro. No one wears those.
I'd
'Cause they
rock
like
that in the
those.
house, maybe. But
I'm sorry, but I don't know where the fashion is going.
I want Tom to wear them every day. Right, Tom? Foam runners? He's probably napping.
Well, bro, have you seen? You know, it's like
I can't.
one thing I find weird is like the higher, like dollar amount on clothes and fashion, the weirder this shit gets. Like some of the most.
You're going towards this futuristic bullshit.
Dude, there's people who fucking duct tape a banana to a wall and sold it for like $150K.
Bro, let me
man.
tell you
Go
something right
fuck
now.
yourself.
These are American Eagle jeans. Hate on me if you will. Probably like $35 jeans.
Yeah.
Most comfortable jeans I've ever worn.
Yeah.
Dude, jeans are jeans, man. I personally like to buy American-made selvedge denim. That's my thing.
Like, is
but-
Gucci gonna
It says selfish denim.
Selvage?
Okay, I might be like, what is? I was gonna be like,
Yeah,
what
they're
is
still
selfish?
made on like
Bro, unless
shuttle rims
Gucci
and shit
jeans
like
are gonna
that.
wipe
That's
my
crazy.
ass and ventilate it for me too, then I don't need
I
it.
got you. I'm just saying, American-made. I want to support American workers, not commie China.
I feel that.
Shouts.
Where is this from?
This? I don't know. Probably China.
Hey, exploit the shit out of it.
One step at a time, baby.
Once that,
Okay, you
I
can't-
love that. That
you-
was funny.
You can't fight on all fronts, though. That's all I'm saying. Like, as much as you want to. That's my part when it comes to like supporting. Like, there's some business that I'll buy from America, but it's just like at some point you're buying shit if you like it. I mean, yeah, it's comes.
Dude, that's just me, man.
Yeah, no,
I don't give a fuck what
no,
y'all do.
no,
like, if you want your commie
I
jeans,
just,
go.
I just talking about in general.
You're
I'm just
garbage.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm just like hopping on it because like I thought about it. I'm just I want to buy American made products like like for the house windows, bruv. She's expensive. Shit that's American made. Like
Wait, what is it?
like windows or like shit that's
yeah, dude.
American.
USA made everything.
Like
It's expensive
that
as fuck.
It is expensive as hell, and like to some degree, I don't want to say like it's not as good, but it's just
Listen.
like if you're gonna get something else that is just as good but just costs a little bit less money. Like yes, American pride, but goddamn, I'm trying to save some money in the
Yo,
pocket.
I'm down with
you, I
that.
get
I'm
you.
down with buying American, but like, take for instance like some leather shoes. I'm getting that shit from Italy if I can afford it, bro. Why would I get shit?
well, they
from
do
America?
the leather pretty good over there.
It's
so-
like I think that like on a base level, I want to support American people, like
Of course,
American
everyone
jobs.
does.
But like let's say like if there's a particular place that makes this shit real good,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it from there.
Well, I think at the base of everything, everyone wants to support America and pay for American products. It's like the same thing with water. Everyone wants to drink the good water, but at the end of the day, the good water is like $12 fucking for
Stupid.
a pack of Fiji or whatever the hell. And guess what? Not everybody can afford that. So you get what you can
Bro, I
afford.
drink tap. I don't care, dude.
I wouldn't drink tap. I'll drink. That's the one thing I
I
spend
bred
money
this
on.
shit. Oh, you did the Berkey thing.
I did the Berkey, man. I
Yeah, I
went
kinda
all the
wanna
way
get
up.
one.
That's the one thing that I don't mess with because I don't trust the government.
Apparently that
and the shit
fluoride
they
ain't
put in
messing
that
with
water.
me though, bro.
And you don't know now. You're still young.
Oh yeah, that's something that takes a while to.
Come talk to me at 60.
I mean, that could be the shit that started. Yeah.
I'll be like,
Nails, hammers,
"Hello,
turn the shit on.
Terrence."
I'll be at my retirement home. I'll be waiting.
Terrence, how old are you, Terrence?
How am I? 30.
So that's crazy. It sounds like a big difference now at 21, 30, but when I'm 61, you'll be 70 or 71.
Yeah, I'll be 70 when you're 61.
We'll be old bastards together.
Yeah. I don't know we'll be together. You'll probably still have your driver's license.
We'll be old. We'll be acquainted old people.
I'm just saying, didn't I meet you talking on the microphone with me one time? Talking about fucking goats and shit.
Be like, yeah, I was going through a time back then.
You still trying to fuck that goat, my guy? I won't tell nobody.
I was young and
I don't think
dumb.
anybody knows still. Shit.
Yeah, Brady.
Oh my day.
We were talking about that the other day, like how we would go or something. I was just like on a porch with my guitar.
Oh man, that sounds
country
peaceful.
as fuck, but
That sounds
I'm
peaceful.
cool with it.
I'll probably go eating.
Dill was like, wife comes out like,
How about just die in my sleep, bro?
what?
I just want to die in my sleep, natural causes.
I'm sure that's peaceful.
I probably die, just from a heart attack from eating too much food and being fat.
Word.
See, like,
I like to eat, so like
I love to eat.
Dude,
bro.
I don't have the time to be cooking all that shit, bro. I'm not trying to be fucking like. I eat. Food is fuel. I don't give a fuck about the artistry around it, but I know you do.
Oh man,
What do you
I know
mean?
you do.
Culinary shit is
Freaking-
awesome.
You just insulted. Like he makes it seem like I'm the freaking like.
You
when
do
I-
cook really good food, and you
What?
take the time to do it and
Gazpacho?
marinate
Do you
and
make
shit.
gazpacho? Have you ever?
No, I don't got time for that. I just
Yeah,
make,
yeah, fuck that shit.
What is
Hey,
that?
fool.
Gazpacho?
I don't know what he said. I was just,
What do
I
you
was
say?
joining you.
Gazpacho?
Gazpacho? No.
It's
Sounds Italian.
It's
heard-
a soup from Spain.
Oh,
Okay,
Spain.
it sounds familiar, and I'm just like, no, I've never. The soup is my girlfriend.
What you like, bro? What do you like to make?
Anything with pork is usually good for me, just because like my blend with like
guy,
pork.
man.
I love pork.
You're the only pork guy I know.
Oh man, like I'll eat the shit out of pork. Like that, but it's probably not the best.
You know,
for
back in the day, you used to be able to pour Coca-Cola over a slab of pork, and the maggots would come out.
What?
Yeah, the worms and shit. Yeah.
No.
Pigs are disgusting, bro.
They are.
Now,
Wait, even
now,
packaged
no.
meat?
Well,
Dude,
people.
this is back in the day, bro, not now.
Like 20.
I mean, dude, they eat their own shit.
You talking
though.
about the
It
90s,
seeps into
bro?
their fucking
Yeah.
their meat and shit. They sweat through their fucking hooves. I think.
Yeah, it's like I
gross.
said, pork's disgusting.
I don't
It is
really,
good as
I don't
fuck.
really fuck with pork. Like I eat the Gus's hot dogs back home when I go back,
Yeah.
but I don't like. I'll eat it if somebody makes it.
Bro,
for
I
me.
eat some bacon. I'll put
No, I'll
down
fuck up some
and
bacon
some
too.
Here's
chops.
my
I'll
thing.
fuck up some
Some
bacon.
pork chops too.
Everything is about the amount. I'm not saying I'm eating
Moderation.
fucking pork like every day, but if there's a meat that I like to cook, it would be pork.
Yes.
Just because of the
Cow.
fat that comes with it is natural. It may be too much at times, but you know what? I like to indulge. But usually when it comes to pork, my blend is like, brown sugar, cayenne. Because it's always like a mixture of hot and sweet with me when it comes to the pork.
Sure.
So like I'll always mix those two, probably some chili powder and a shit ton of garlic.
I love garlic, dude.
We got a tub of garlic about this tall. It'll probably last a month at the house, just because we put garlic in everything. And
no vampires coming y'all's way.
nope, none. And we got
Fuck
the
them
garlic
vamps.
spread. We just put it on bread and then go to town with it. So
No True Blood around here.
Nope, no True Blood. So yeah, no, pork is probably my favorite thing to cook. But it's not like I'm in the kitchen like, well, now that I think about it.
Yeah, no shit, bruh.
Shut
I
up.
lived with you for 3 years.
It's like but the way he's talking is like making it seem like I'm playing Mozart in the background. It's like
No, it's just Afro beats. It's like
Yeah,
that's
this
just
is-
your thing.
Exactly. I'm like, well, it's not Mozart, but it's definitely playing music, and
Bro.
I'm cooking in there, chefing it up.
Bro,
So-
I'm not even gonna lie, dude. I know you were joking, but I'll turn on some like Nora Jones and shit whenever my parents are out of town, and like have a glass of wine.
Nora
and start
Jones is
cooking.
cool.
I'm like a middle-aged wife when I start cooking.
Yeah, with your cardigan and your cup of tea. You probably hold your cup with the bottom of your hand.
and support it.
Shut your mouth, Dave. I'll tell you something funny. The other night, this is completely off topic. I'm not even gonna lie, but I mean, drinking is considered food in some way. It's connected. So my dad, like, it was always a dry household. I was never allowed to drink at home. Like, you know how parents will let you have like beer or whatever. My parents
Yeah.
would never do that. They'd be cool with me going and drinking and whatnot. But the minute I turned 21, dude, we've never had liquor in the house, like ever.
Immediately
At,
showed
like,
you all the liquor cabinets.
We have
that.
like 8 bottles of liquor in our kitchen now.
That's good.
Dude, my dad got this peanut butter whiskey, bro, and we got some Bluebell or some ice cream, and he poured like 3 shots over it, dude.
Whiskey and ice cream?
Yeah, fuck.
Fuck.
Peanut. It was no, I'm
So
sorry, it was
fucking.
caramel.
You never had that?
caramel whiskey.
You ever heard of an ice cream called? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Malaga. Keep going. I'll go on.
Caramel whiskey over ice cream, vanilla ice cream. It was so good, dude. It put my ass to bed, though. I'm not
Holy
gonna lie.
shit, dude. Sounds amazing.
Growing up, my dad and I think it was always every Sunday. I'll remember this. We would always go to this one ice cream joint that was so far away from the house, but we would always go there. And I would always get like strawberry sherbet. I freaking love strawberry sherbet. I will go, or anything sherbet, really. I will go nuts on, especially like how you call it? Anything tangy like lemon. Oh my god, I will destroy sherbet. That's like a very tangy lime lemon. But my dad would always get this one flavor called Malaga or Malaga, whatever you want to call it. But
Spain?
It's Scotch. It's like literally it's ice cream and there's Scotch in it, and you can taste the sucker. And my dad would love it every time you get the same Malaga flavor. And like, shout out to my dad,
Bro, it's good.
and whatnot.
Those are the times, bro. You gotta have time with your dad. That's great.
Yes, sir. Like I said, he made it in my sister's graduation, so that was back in
Huge,
2019. I was a very happy fella because I got to go and did not miss on an important opportunity. So that was definitely probably the highlight of 2019. That and buying the house.
2019 was a good year.
That's
2019
awesome,
was
dude.
a freaking great year, man. Jeez, it was from 2017 till 2020. It's been a good year for me. Like all those 3 years have been good for me.
Bro, I'm not even gonna lie. It sounds like a horrible, twisted thing to say. 2020 has been a great year for me personally.
No, if it's been
Been
a
a
great
good year for me too.
No,
man.
if it's been a great year for you, that's like I said, it's good. You know, like more power to that.
Bro, chaotic
I'm trying to flip
times.
it.
Chaotic times create strong people.
I'm still trying to flip that shit.
Hell yeah, dude.
But I think I'm running out of time, so whatever. But like, it's just like I mentioned this in a previous episode. I've jumped from so many different industries within the span of this 1 year that I guess I'm finally starting. Like I've been like on my, I guess I don't know if it's on my belly, because to me belly is comfortable, but I don't know what's uncomfortable to most people. But I guess the back is. So I've been on my back this whole time trying to like figure it out. And then now I'm just like, okay, realizing everything that's happening. I'm like, okay, we're getting there. So we'll flip 2021, you know, just because it's just talking about getting used to, you know, the situation that's at hand. So it took me a little while to accommodate, but, you know, we're getting there.
Yeah. And I also appreciate you guys letting me jump in.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but it's
Most
been
certainly.
fun.
It's been fun.
Like I said, I love talking.
It's always good to just bounce off of other people, too, because like, we're used to each other. So it's just like, this has been going on since, I don't know, 2016, 15.
Whenever you moved in, it's been long conversations.
Yeah, this has been, we've been having these conversations before, and
like these on average are like 2 hours long.
on average.
On average.
See, that's great for you guys. You guys. It's pretty rare. I've noticed it. I don't know if it's always been this way or if it's a new thing with technology. But for me, I have trouble at like parties and things like that because I don't know how to. I have a certain level of engagement that I'm always in. Like it's hard for me to have shallow interaction. And one thing I've struggled with, even in friendships, like with homies, it's like I want to have people around me that, you know, have purpose and meaning to what they do, and like, you know, and because it helps me whenever I'm not having as much purpose as I need, you know, talking to them, you know, motivates me, and that's one thing I struggle with. You know what I mean? And it's good to see you guys have found that.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
I mean, it's just like,
It's just the older you get, too, the more experience you have. You know who's real in your life and who's not.
Yep.
And, like, you only start hanging out with the real people.
Yep.
You know?
I always enjoy talking with you. One thing about Dave is, like, sometimes, like, we'll talk about something and I'll be like, shit. But then I'll be like, well, you know, one thing I can always respect about Dave is he'll always tell me
keep it real.
what's real, which I do appreciate.
I had to learn, like I said, dealing with Dave, I had to learn. You know, Dave, you kind of have to, like, I mean, everybody else, but I feel like I had to learn you a little bit more because you come from up north.
Yeah, I
So
know. The
like,
Yankees are different, boy.
Yeah, I had to learn Dave and, like, how, not necessarily, when I say how he moves, that's just the word that I'm using, but, like, how he is.
I know what you mean.
So, like, even, like, in some instances, he'll say something, and someone who doesn't know Dave will take offense to it. You know, and
Absolutely.
I know it, you know, because I was that person at one point. But then once you know the Davey, you know that, oh, wait, that's just the word. In his mind, it's just the word. It doesn't come with the impact. If he meant it, he'll tell you after he said it that he means it. You know, that's just the type of shit.
Well, you're a Carolina dude. I mean, you had experience in the South, too.
Yes,
It's
sir.
just, it's just a different way of communicating.
No, for sure. You know, like I said, I've always told Dave, you know, I've always appreciated his friendship and all that stuff. So it's just something that, you know, from, you know, bonding over, you know, Neo's album to, you know, living together, you know, kind of just figuring things out and then living together twice, really.
You know, just a couple of grown men listening to Neo over some wine.
Yeah, just holding it from the bottom, just supporting it.
Pinky's out.
Yeah, pinky's out, you know. I got the whole bottle in my hand.
You know, you need...
Now, Terrence, how do you feel about you, the gentleman?
You need people like Dave, though. Not to gas you up too much, Dave. But
He's gassed up already.
But, you know,
I'm chilling.
You do need people like Dave in your life because there's so many people that are just fluff.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So many people that are just will sway in the wind, tell you what you want to hear, make you feel like you're, you know, a false prophet or whatever.
Exactly.
You know? And not saying that Dave never gives praise, but when he does, it means so much more.
Yeah, no, it does.
That's how my dad is. My dad, like I've told Dave, like I'd write a song and I'd come home and he'd be like, yeah, that's all right. Or I'd do a show, or my brother'd play a baseball game, and he'd be like, you know, hey, Dad, how do we do? He'd be like, you didn't do your best. I mean, you were better than everyone else, but you didn't do your best. I mean, you could have done better.
Yeah.
But whenever we would put out and we'd hear that gratification from him, it'd be like,
hell yeah.
It gave you that fuel for the next 6 months to keep working. You know?
Yeah, for sure. It's just like always being able to get that gratification. Definitely from people that you look up to is very important. I think my part has always been getting the gratification from myself because I'm never able to please myself with the shit that I put in. I think that's a me problem. And I think
it does sound like a you
No,
problem.
It definitely is a me problem.
Can't please yourself.
Shit, my left hand does pretty
Sounds
well.
like a you problem.
Oh, wow.
I ain't even gonna lie,
I just
dog.
straight up walked into that one.
That was
Dude, I was back here like...
baby.
I
caught that
I just
shit.
threw it and he just like...
You just underhand softball.
That's what that Vaseline is for.
It's like he didn't even try. He just put it out there.
Yeah.
It's like, just walk straight into that one.
That's awesome.
No, but it's just like, I don't know. Overall, I don't know how much probably nothing to do with my horoscope, but I like to think that it does. But like,
what are you?
Virgo.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, Virgo. Apparently you're supposed to be perfectionist, which I don't know. But then again, just when it comes to editing, I'm just like, video footage have to be right fucking here. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe there's a correlation.
You care about your work, bro.
And that's just what it bogs down to. I just gotta care less.
Yeah.
Nah, dude. What makes you different is the extra mile you do go. Right?
I agree with that.
Well, like what we talked about before is like if you're not practiced, set a deadline for yourself so you actually are putting stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Until you get to the point where you're practiced enough where you're like, okay, I know I need to spend a little bit more time on this until it's where I need it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So in the beginning, I think it's good to have deadlines and stuff.
It is, and like we have this conversation, and like I said, I came up with my version of that. So like I said, it's all a work in progress. I said 2020 is being flipped slowly but surely. And like they said, I think my favorite thing to say is like better late than never. You know, to me, it's like I just rather just. Even though, because people always like, man, had I done this earlier on, that's fine. You know, I would rather just do it at some point than not do it at all and then miss out on the whole thing. Because to me, with this whole experience, my excuse, which was very valid, was I'm always on tour. I'm never home. I'm home now.
Now you ain't got that excuse no more.
I don't have that excuse anymore. So it's just
what are you gonna do now?
Yeah, what are you gonna do now? So it's that's the next. That's the next journey right there. So you begin my book in 30 years, you know, book of my life. You know, when I put it out, I'll let you know and go buy that shit. And
You're going to write a memoir?
I'm going to write a
Or are you going to
memoir.
wait to do that too?
That was great.
Man.
Sweet Tina Mary.
Sweet Tina Mary.
Sweet Tina Mary. See y'all next year.
That's true. Next year. That was fucking great, dude.
Cool.
Dude, good times.
Yes, sir.